thank everyone for coming today and welcome everyone to the Westland City Hall. My name is Jeff Jedrusik. I'm the Westland Police Chief. And today we're here to talk about another investment the City of Westland has made into the Westland Police Department. Today I'm proud to announce that the Westland Police Department has fully implemented a body camera program for our entire police department and all of our police officers. A program like this does not just benefit the Westland Police Department, but it truly benefits the Westland community as a whole. So to help introduce the new program, I'm not only joined by members of our law enforcement community today, but I'm also joined by some elected officials, members of our business community, by administrators of the Wayne Westland School District, and also members of our community. So with that, I want to take a quick opportunity to introduce some of the people that are here with me today. Representing the City of Westland, I have Mayor William Wild. Representing our City Council, I have Council President Jim Godbout. I also have Councilman Mike Landau, Councilwoman Tasha Green, Councilman Jim Hart. I also have our City Clerk, Richard LeBlanc. Representing the criminal justice system, I have our 18th District Court Judge Sandra Cicerelli. I also have our Judge Mark McConnell. I have our City Attorney Jim Fossone, and also our City Prosecutor Mike McNamara. Representing the Wayne Westland School District, I have the Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Andre Townsell. It's right there. Also representing our business district is the Chamber of Commerce President, Brooke Ellen Swope. And then representing our community, not only residents that are here, but I've got Reverend John D. Hearn, who's the pastor of the Christian Faith Ministries Church. He's a member of the Inkster Westland Ministerial Alliance, and he's also a board member of the Western Wayne County NAACP. And also to his right, I have Reverend John E. Duckworth, who's a pastor of the Gethsemane Missionary Baptist Church and also a member of the Inkster Ministerial Alliance. The Westland Police Department is always looking for tools to improve the ability to protect our community. When dashboard cameras first came out 20 years ago, we were one of the first departments that deployed them. I still to this day remember switching out VHS tapes in the trunk of my patrol car halfway through the shift. But even though the technology has greatly improved, there are still video limitations. Prior to body-worn cameras, officers were only able to capture video evidence that occurred directly in front of our patrol cars. So as a result, judges, juries, and the public only saw bits and pieces of evidence that was often captured by cell phone video or distant business cameras. These videos often don't tell an entire story. They may show a view that was much different than the investigating officer that was on scene. So for the past 2 years, the Westland Police Department has been researching a body camera program that best fit our department's needs and our capabilities. Again, I want to thank the mayor and our city council for making the financial investment into our police department for this technology. The technology benefits and capabilities of this program are tremendous. The Westland Police Department will now be deploying body cameras on every one of our uniformed officers, as you can see with the officers that are behind me here today. We will have the ability now to capture video evidence from inside of homes, businesses, parks, and schools. We can provide high-definition, up-close video as seen by the officer on scene. We can assist our police department in creating training seminars and training videos. We can provide video evidence to our judges, our prosecutors, and our juries. We can provide useful information to the media, and we can reduce civil liability. The second key element to me about our body-worn camera program is to build trust, transparency, and accountability with ourselves and the community. It's no secret that throughout this country, there are people that have lost some confidence in their law enforcement agencies. There have been some bad officers out there that have hurt the reputation of hundreds of thousands of hardworking, dedicated police officers who every day risk their lives to serve their community and protect their community. The body-worn camera program is key in developing and maintaining the trust of our community, the confidence of our agency, and our ability to maintain full transparency. Community trust is based on community partnership. Over the past couple weeks, I've been meeting with small groups with members of the Western Wayne NAACP, with the Inkster National Action Network, with the Inkster and Westland Ministerial Alliance, and we all agree that dialogue and communication is the best and most crucial part in building trust with our community. So we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to meet on have these meetings as we move forward. So at this time, I'm going to ask two of our community leaders to step up and say a couple of words about the Westland Police Department and our community partnership and a little bit about our body camera program. So the first person I want to introduce is Reverend John Hearn Jr. Have him step up and say a couple words for us.
Good morning. I'm Pastor John Hearn Jr. and standing here representing the community and all of those that are affected by law enforcement in general. We're happy to see this level of transparency coming to the Westland Police Department. For truly, this is an apparatus that will be used to foster better community relations because of the transparency that it will present in the law enforcement arena. In the past, there's been a situation where it's someone's word against someone else's word. But this will bring that level of transparency that I believe will take that equation out of the picture. There will be no more doubt as to what's really taking place in our community when it comes down to the interactions between the citizens and the members of law enforcement. And so we welcome this new addition of technology to the department, and we're grateful for the city leaders that have made this possible, because this is a giant step towards fostering better relations with the community at large, with us having this apparatus at our disposal, so that what's being seen on the cameras, as they say, that the cameras don't lie. So we can go forward knowing that the level of confidence in our police department will be elevated now based on what we have available to us now by way of this new technology. So we thank the chief and the city leaders for making this possible. And I'm assured by those that I represent that they will be glad to know that this technology is available going forward, and that we will be able to work together in peace and harmony in the law enforcement arena and working with the gentleman in blue. Thank you for your time and this opportunity.
Thank you, Reverend Hearn. And again, I want to thank you for all the work and help you've done with meeting with us and working with us and building community partnership, and I greatly appreciate that. Next, I'd also like to invite up Reverend John Duckworth and allow him to say a couple of words for us.
Good morning. I think this is a wonderful event that is taking place, and it's allowing an opportunity for a bridge of trust to be built between the police community as well as the community at large, because I think it's very important in this day and age that we build bridges that come together instead of walls that's keeping us apart. Police officers need the citizens need the police officers. So this will allow a wonderful opportunity for transparency and the building of trust, and I look forward to continuing the dialogues and communications between the police department as well as the community as we continue to build and learn to live together, because I believe that either we learn to live as brothers or we will die as fools. Thank you for the opportunity, and I'm grateful towards the leadership of the city as well as the police department, and we're looking forward to a stronger partnership, and I believe that these cameras will help in developing that goal.
Thank you, sir. And again, I want to thank you for Reverend Duckworth has gone out of his way to set up public forums and community forums for us to bring police officers there and meet with the community in order to try to answer questions and again, just kind of build a trust and transparency, and I appreciate everything that both of you gentlemen have done for the police department and the city of Westland. Lastly, or before I let my Mayor William Wild do some closing remarks, I just want to make sure everyone knows that we have Taser Acts on here in the corner. They've got a demonstration table set up. Everyone's able to take a look at the body cameras that we are now going to be wearing. Every one of our uniform officers will be wearing. They've got a couple of demonstration videos that you can take a look at too and get a kind of an understanding of how the product works and what the technology is. So, William Wild, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Chief. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Why today we celebrate this new technological advancement for our police department, and we're proud of that. When you look around the room here today, we have a lot of people from a lot of different areas in the city of Westland. So my comments are going to be more based on community relations, because moving forward, our community is 51 years old. Throughout my time as mayor and city council and working with the city, there's always been kind of a little bit of a perception out there that there was an issue between either our police departments, our public safety departments, or any other departments with the communities of color that made up our city. So it's something that we are committed to. Not only, I don't think it's fair as a community to make the police department bear the full responsibility of a changing community. And our community is becoming more diverse every day. So it's something that working from the mayor's office through all of our city departments, and you'll see that they're all represented here today through the city council, our courts, the clerk's office, not only police, but also fire. Our fire chief is here today. This is something that our city and its public servants and all of our employees are determined to face that perception. We're going to look at our city's history, and we're going to learn from it. We're committed as a city to work together with our citizens and our visitors. Westland is a community that we pride ourselves on being a destination in Wayne County, so we have a lot of people come to visit our city for shopping and dining and employment opportunities. So we're determined to work together with our citizens and our visitors to create a stronger, more resilient, and equitable community for the future of Westland. Recognizing, though, that a police-community relationship is only as legitimate as our citizens and our visitors see it. And that's why we're trying to double down on our efforts to build our relationships. And a couple of the gentlemen that we're working with are here today. It's probably something as a community that we have not spent enough time on. So I'm making the commitment that we will spend more time on it. And I think that having relationships and bridge buildings, especially in a diverse city like ours, because there are a lot of different communities that make up Westland, and not only our African American population, which a lot of our most recent, let's say, media recognition of events in our city have been centered on, but we also have rising Latino communities, Armenian communities, Asian communities, and the list goes on and on. So it's something that we're going to work on, and like I said, it's got to be real work. It's got to be something that those communities see as legitimate. So I'm asking the Westland Police Department, the Westland Fire Department, and all the city to lean into this task. We're going to address, that some of the tensions that we currently have with our public safety and the communities of color. And as Chief Jedrusik said, this is a challenge that's going on all throughout the country. It's not something that just the city of Westland's dealing with. It's been a challenge to our country that started long before any of these officers standing behind me were even born. So, but Westland's a leader. We consider ourselves a leader in Western Wayne County. We lead on a lot of different fronts, and this will be an area that we lead in as well. There's much work to do, and I believe today's commitment to transparency is a major step towards that. I appreciate Reverend Duckworth for initiating what him and I talked about yesterday is an ongoing conversation between public safety and the community. So, and once again, that's not just going to be our police department, it's going to be our fire department as well. And we'll expand that based on the needs of the community. And Reverend Duckworth, I appreciate you offering up your church as a place to do that, and I look forward to a continued open dialogue. And Reverend Hearn, you and your family have had long, deep roots in our community, so I appreciate your work and your willingness to partner with the city of Westland as we move forward. The city of Westland is a city of compassion and one of tolerance and acceptance, but we know that we have to be better, and we will be better. And that means examining our policies and procedures, not only through the lens, we pride ourselves, our police department, as being CLIA certified, being, that's a gold standard for police, law enforcement agencies across the country. But sometimes that just takes a look at your policies and how you do things. We're going to go one step further. We're going to examine our policies and procedures through the lens of racial equality and fairness. And when we get it wrong, we're going to admit it, because we do get things wrong. But we're committed, once we do get things wrong, we'll make it right. And I think the community will be stronger because of that. And then I'm going to close out my comments by saying we must also acknowledge and appreciate the challenges and dangers and uncertainty of police work, and more and so every day with our fire department as well. We have a dedicated team, and we have a few of our team with us here today of men and women of the Westland Police Department. They patrol our streets, they investigate crimes in our community. The Westland Police Department is a very active police department. We are on the streets, we investigate when there's been a crime, and in Westland, we catch the bad guys. So with that said, there's going to be a lot of interaction between our department and the public. With that said, these officers, they have to be prepared for it. At any given minute, a routine traffic stop can turn into a life and death situation. And at the same time, as a community, we're expecting them to follow the procedures that we've laid out for them, and also to treat our citizens or the visitors or whoever they may be interacting with respect. It's an incredible, difficult balance, and it's making it really difficult for not only the Westland Police Department, but police departments all across the country to hire new officers. There was recently a report locally about the difficulty of hiring firefighters. That challenge is even more so in effect with the police department. So with that, I appreciate everybody being here today. We're going to open up the floor to questions at this point, and based on your questions, we can figure out who the right person would be to answer that.
How much will this cost?
Thank you. So what we did is well, first of all, when we're done here, I can point you to the Taser Axon representatives that are here that can give you a little bit more information on the actual costs. But what we were able to do was obtain a grant through our risk management company that's going to fund a great deal of this project. We have it broken over a five-year period. The cost I don't exactly have in front of me right now, but because we're still working through the grant process on how much money we're going to get back from the grants.
How many officers will be equipped with the body cam?
Every one of our officers, we have 81 officers in our department, and every officer is assigned a body camera. Every uniform officer will be wearing one every day.
When will they start wearing these? When will it be implemented?
We actually started 2 weeks ago. The idea was it's new technology, so you got to kind of work out the bumps and work through the bugs and make sure that we had it kind of figured out. And there's a lot that goes along with it. There's, data storage. I mean, video is evidence, and so we had to make sure that we had the data storage element of that correct. But we are now fully implemented and they're in service.
You say uniformed officers will be wearing them. Detectives and plainclothes officers will not, I take it?
Well, our undercover officers wouldn't be wearing them, of course. So right now, every uniform officer in our department is going to be wearing them.
And 81 officers, is that uniformed or is that the total force?
That's our total force.
Are you guys pleased with how it's coming about so far? I mean, you've seen the video now. Has it proved beneficial in any of the current cases you've been working on in the last 2 weeks?
Absolutely beneficial. And, one of the things I will say is I think that people get concerned with change, and people are resistant to change. One thing I've noticed with our officers is everybody here was actually excited about us getting the program, and what it comes down to is our officers are out there working hard and doing the right thing every day. And not only does this protect the community, but it protects the officers. This gives the ability for the officers to show that they are out there doing the right thing, and it gives the community an ability to look at what our officers are doing and build that trust and transparency. So yeah, absolutely.
And Chief, I know the release said that you had been researching the correct technology or the technology that best suits the officers here in Westland. What exactly were you looking for that took 2 years?
So there was a lot that really needed to be figured out legislatively wise. The Westland Police policy is going to be that we're going to be wearing these when we interact with everybody in the public, but there are expectations of privacy when people have in their homes and issues like that. So we wanted to make sure that we had the Freedom of Information laws in line with what we wanted with our department. Again, like I was saying, the server space, there was a lot of cost that goes into this, so there was going to be some work with the city council and the budgets to make sure that we could put forth the money that we needed for this program. We needed to be able to work out our grants to be able to get some money reimbursement for that, and we wanted to make sure that we had everything aligned with policies and procedures and with our city attorney's office to make sure we had the proper laws and rules and policies in place.
Chief, how did this augment or affect the training regimen that your officers go through?
Well, what I love about the program is that we can actually create training scenarios from our videos. And what we say here is every day is a training day, and every bad situation that we deal with or every mistake we make, shame on us if we don't learn from them and we don't correct them. And what we can do is every day we do roll call training at every shift, every officer, every day there is some form of training that takes place, and the great majority of this training now is going to be based on body camera video. And a situation, there's high risk, low frequency situations that happen. And these are the opportunities that our officers are now going to be able to view and watch their actions and then kind of, correct to themselves, and our shift supervisors can correct the actions that they took. And maybe they're, as time goes on, you realize that policies need to be changed on certain things. So it's a benefit all around.
Do you think that this might have changed the outcome or the community's perception of the recently publicized taser incidents?
I think so. I think what it comes down to is what a lot of not only the media but the public is forced to make decisions on what they see sometimes. And sometimes all they see is a 30-second cell phone video. Sometimes we can hear something that takes place on a microphone, but the dashboard camera of our patrol car is parked on the street, so it's facing down the street, and we aren't able to capture that video. What these body cameras would have allowed us to do and will allow us to do forward is everyone's going to be able to see exactly what the officer saw, and I think that it's going to be a huge benefit.
How long is the video archived for, saved?
So based on our server space, that I'm not going to be able to answer for you. I might defer you to our TASER Axon but we definitely are going to have policy in place that's going to maintain these videos. Jeff, what do we set up for? Is that how many months?
So it's going to be based on what the category of the incident is. So at the lowest end, 90 days for no crime committed essentially, and then all the way up to indefinitely for homicide.
Yep. And what we will do is, so as we have an incident that we either know is going to become a criminal case or there could be an issue with it, we have the ability to tag it and keep it forever. And that's what we will end up doing. We are not going to be in fear of losing that video.
Chief, how much of this is the hope that it changes behavior on the front end? That maybe something that would have been said or done isn't said or isn't done because you think, oh my God, this whole thing's being recorded?
I think 50% of it. I think, 50% we're going to hopefully build the community trust, but the other side of it is not just with the Westland Police Department, but nationwide. I've said it before, there's no doubt there's been some bad officers out there that have hurt the reputation of the hundreds of thousands of good, hard-working officers out there. If those officers are wearing a body camera, maybe they make better decisions, or maybe they're fired from their jobs because there's ability to see what's taking place out there by those agencies. And I think that, yes, 100% that our officers are going to be aware of what they're doing, and they're going to be aware that other people are going to see what they're doing, and it's going to make people make the right decisions.
You mentioned privacy concerns. Are there circumstances when the cameras will be turned off or the audio turned off?
So our policy is going to be that we are going to have our body cameras on every time we are interacting with a person in the public. Where the privacy is going to come in is when people try to get copies of videos, whether it's freedom of information. That is where the redacting and the freedom of information laws will come into place, and that's where we would work with the FOIA manager for the city and the city attorneys to redact or deny what's appropriate based on law.
So basically everything gets captured, but what gets released really depends.
Yeah, absolutely. An example I would give is if an officer goes to somebody's house to investigate a family trouble, and are we going to release all that information to all your neighbors? No. The people have expectations of privacy. There are ongoing investigations where prosecutors or judges might rule that, hey, this cannot be released at this point in time until a case is concluded or the investigation is complete. So there's a number of things that fall within those FOIA laws.
Can we hear maybe a voice from one of the officers, maybe someone to talk about a situation where they wish they would have had a camera in the past?
Well, I don't want to put them on a spot, but I'll answer one that when we were doing our trial period on this, we had one incident where we went to a home on a family trouble, and as the officer, the person we were arresting obviously did not want to go to jail, and it's not easy to take people into custody that don't want to be arrested. I mean, that's what the truth is when it comes to it. And as our officer was walking this person out of the house, the person clearly kicks his wife's carry-out cabinet and breaks it, and then immediately starts screaming, "You pushed me into the cabinet, you pushed me into the cabinet," not knowing that the officer standing right there had a body camera on that recorded the entire thing. And to be honest with you, that happened like the first week we tried our trial on this, and we said, if that's not a sell to the city right there, nothing is. It's just one example of a whole scope of things that could occur. This is going to be definitely beneficial for the entire department, the entire city of Westland.